Welcome to Streetrogue's Lightroom Color Grade series. This is where you're going to learn the art of color grading like a pro. Today we'll be learning how to turn this into this. Enjoy. Okay, so let's just jump straight into this. This is a Kodak Portra 400 inspired color grade of mine. It's not absolutely accurate to the Kodak Portra 400, the vintage retro film. It's more my version, it's more Streetrogue's version of it. So we're going to turn this image into the image on the left. Again, it's one of those where things won't make too much sense as we're going. I'll explain as fast as we can why I'm doing these things to get the result on the left from the image, the base image that we have on the right. Okay, so let's just jump straight into it. We'll go quick. So remember, you can pause this, you can write these notes down, do whatever you need to do to sort of record the information so you can stick it on your own images. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Alright, no time for slipping, let's go. Profile, Adobe Standard. The reason I do this is just to matte the image down a little bit, take the contrast out and the colour. So, obviously I've dialed in these numbers before, so I know exactly what I've got here. So I will talk through, like I was saying. We're going to take the temperature down to 4,340. 4,441. Okay, tint. We're going to take the slider to the right and get a bit more of a purple tint overall. Now you can kind of see there's a bit more purple being added there. Exposure, we're going to take this down to around -45. Come on, fiddly. Right, -45. Contrast, we're just going to add a little bit of contrast just to kind of make a little bit more of a pop. Only a little tiny bit, subtle. Highlights, we're going to increase the highlights to +54. I really want to bring those whites out. You'll see why in the next few steps. Shadows, we're going to bring the detail out. So I'm going to add a bit of light into the shadows. So let's take it to 3940. Whites, +42. This is going to really make it pop. You see? Okay, blacks. We're going to take this down. We're really going to crunch the blacks a little bit. So -40. Let's go. Texture. I want to bring some detail out in the stone and the grass. So let's take this to +15. Clarity, -8. Dehaze is great for taking off, I guess, like the haze from the seascape. So let's just go to +4. Yeah. Vibrance. Take this to +21. Make it a little bit more vibrant. Saturation. We're just going to equalize all the color a little bit, -5. So just take the edge off all of the color. Okay, let's see where we're up to. So the image on the right looks nothing like the image that we're trying to get to on the left just yet. So we've just set the base. Let's go. So next stage is the curves. So let's just take the overall curve level. And we'll just make a few points in the top, in the highlights. We're just going to raise it a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. But then we're going to anchor the middle in, and we are then going to go more down towards the darks. Pull some of the darks down a little bit, and then we're going to matte everything off. Now, this might look a bit heavy at the minute, but you'll see, it will change. It'll change. So we'll go to the red curves. This is a little slight change here. So we'll anchor in the middle, and we'll just take a little bit of the mid darks area, and we'll just add a little bit of greeny blue in there, just a tiny bit, almost nothing. Okay, green curve tool, anchor here, Anchor in the middle. Just anchor here, and then it's just in the darks that want to add a little tiny bit of purple. And then the blue curve. This is where we're going to get lovely yellows in the highlights. Well, it's going to be the base for anyway, so let's do that. Alright. Okay. You'll see a little difference now. You see the sky? Check the sky out. Let's flatten that a little bit. Okay. Next. Hue, saturation, and luminance. Let's fire through these really quick. Hue. We're going to leave the reds and oranges, and we're going to take the yellows down to the orange, -20. Greens, -83. So we're going to take the more into a yellow, the greens more into sort of like a yellow. Aquas, +100. We're going to take the aquas more blue. It's hardly noticeable. Blue. I'm going to take that down to -25. Purple and magenta, leave those bad boys alone. Right, saturation, red. Let's take the saturation down to -43. Oranges, let's take that to -22. So we're taking out the colour from the orange and the red. Yellows, -14. So we're going to take some yellow out, the saturation. The green we're going to take to +84. So we're going to ramp some saturation into that. Really get that super vibrant. Kind of looks sickly at the minute, but just hang fire, you'll see. The magic just sort of pops almost out of the blue. Right, aqua, +11. Color grading is super strange, isn't it? Like, it almost feels like you don't know what you're doing until you get there. It's a bizarre thing. So blue, -20. It all comes together. It all comes together. So purple and magenta, I'm going to take all of that color out, just to take all of the possible purple fringing out. Right, onto luminance. Let's fire through this. Red, we're going to do nothing. Orange, we're going to add a bit of light into the orange, +2. Yellow, +22. So we're going to put some light into quite considerable amount of light into the yellow. Green, -50. So we're going to darken the greens on the floor, vegetation, the grass. -50. Aqua, +9. So we're going to add some light into the aqua, and the blues we're going to take to -23. Should see a big difference here in the blues now. There you go, look at that. Because the majority of the sky is blue, so we've really darkened down the sky. And purples and magentas, we're going to leave those bad boys alone. Okay. Before we do the last part, which is the color, I'm going to go to the bottom to calibration. Okay, the red primary, we're just going to move that towards a more of a pinky purple. So we'll go -54. -54. Green primary, -18. So we're going to take the green primaries more towards a sort of like lime green, if you will. So we'll go to -18. Whoop. And the blue primary, we're going to go to -23. Okay, now let's see what it looks like. Image on the right is getting there, but still we've got a lot of work to do. As you can see, there's purple in the image on the right, or it kind of feels like that next to the image on the left. So the next stage really will change everything. So we're going to go to the color grading tab. And we're going to go to the midtones, and we're going to go to hue. You'll see now. Hue 46. So hue 46. And the saturation will take to 22. Now, that's in the midtones. So let's have a look now. We're edging towards the image on the left. And then the blending, we will take the balance to +8, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the blending to 48. So it's just taking it down, so it's just blending it in a little bit less. Now we are going to go to the highlights. Now this is where everything changes. So let's just dial in to around hue 64. Now you see where it says hue 64, and then we'll take the saturation down to around 60. Let's have a look. And how far are we off? Not too far off, really. Not too far off at all. We're not looking too far off now, but I think the sky is a little bit yellow. So let's go back to the tone curves and let's just raise the blue curve highlight up a little bit. I think we need to put a bit more saturation into the blue as well. So let's go to hue, saturation and luminance. Let's add a bit of saturation into the blue. Ah, there we go. And then I think maybe the luminance of the blue as well. Do we need to darken that a little bit? And then we need to change the hue of the blue, I think, to a bit more of a aqua. And then maybe just take the saturation down. And then, where's the greens? The greens. Okay, down to -58, and I think we are there pretty much. I think maybe we just do we underexpose it a tiny bit? There we go. -55. I still think we need a bit more yellow in the highlights. Look in the sky on the left. Okay, let's just have a look there. What am I missing? Let's just bring that down slightly. There we go. I think we've absolutely nailed it. So, fairly tricky, but there she is. There she goes. So save it and use it on your own images. Let's just copy this. So we'll right click, settings, copy settings. Let's go to another fresh image. So as you can see, this is a very overexposed image from a picture I've taken about a couple of seconds later from the other one. If I paste the image, the color grade we've just done, and then bring the exposure down, there we have it. Look at that, brilliant. And just tweak it a little bit, change the contrast, and you can see that you can add that color grade onto absolutely any similar image in the series. Straighten that up, and yeah, there we have it. So we have that image, we have that image. Maybe we could even bring this exposure down from there. Perfect. Kodak Portra 400 inspired Streetrogue edition. As usual, thank you very much to the talented Nate Connolly, who's made the bespoke track for this color grade tutorial. If you like this kind of shizzle, hit the subscribe, ding, ring, shing-a-ling. Until the next time, peace.